Hi, Jade here with Essential Ways. I am going to do a fun little Q&A with Dr. Steve. He is part of AdvoCare Clinic here, and they do CBD and cannabis and a lot of medical marijuana and different things.
Correct.
And we're going to talk today about how to boost your immune system in today's current times of what we're dealing with. And I just wanted to do a few things and talk about a few different products, mainly CBD, which is really awesome. If you haven't tried it, please stop in to AdvoCare, stop into our shop and try it. It's really awesome. So I want to talk a little bit with Dr. Steve here. Tell me a little bit about yourself before we get started.
Well, I have a 20-year background in emergency medicine and have moved into the medicinal cannabis arena to help folks that had kind of reached the end of their rope for other options for things like pain, cancer, MS. They had been faithful to the traditional methods of caring. And
medicine.
Medicine, and it just didn't help. I still practice emergency medicine, but I do this as well. We've found that we've been able to help a lot of folks get away from opiates, which has been a blessing.
Now, how long has AdvoCare been available?
So we've been around since March 1st of 2019. So
you
this
guys
is
are
our
selling
annual.
it here.
As far as CBD. You can't sell any cannabis here as far as anything higher than 0.3% THC.
But AdvoCare is celebrating a year?
Yeah, we're selling our 1 year. It's awesome. Yeah,
Yay.
we're really happy about
anniversary.
that. We've been blessed to be able to do this and to grow and serve our patients, and we just really enjoy doing that.
That's great.
Our focus is really on education when we bring patients in and helping them to build a program that has a high likelihood of success for them. As you can imagine, you get a 70 or 80-year-old patient in that's never been involved with cannabis, and they're scared.
Right.
They don't want to smoke. So you have to be very creative on how you use the dispensary menus to help them to find some methods that will help them from the delivery side as well as the pharmacokinetics of what they're taking and what they're taking it for.
And traditionally, we're taught in today's day and age that cannabis is bad. But technically, cannabis is an amazing plant-based medicine that can help our endocannabinoids, our cannabinoid system. I mean, our whole, I'm sure you can talk about all that different immune response that CBD can invoke in healing and helping us get over what we're dealing with. There's lots of things to talk about.
That's exactly right. So the interesting thing to realize is that all of us from eons ago have what's called an endocannabinoid system. It's within our bodies, and it's really our system of wellness, balance, and repair. That's why it's there. That's how it works in its natural state, and with a little help from the outside from what we call phytocannabinoids, because they're not from inside the body but actually from a plant. The cannabinoids that we make in our bodies are called endocannabinoids because they're made inside our bodies and they work within that system normally. But that system is made for wellness, balance, and repair, and actually since we're talking a little bit about our immune systems today, the thing to know is that the CB2 receptors, which are one of the receptor types in our body that the endocannabinoid system uses, are tied to our spleen and all of our immune cells, our white blood cells.
Now, the spleen, I've learned from researching and looking into different things, is where our immune actually is created. Is that correct?
A good part of it. There's multiple different lymphoid tissues or immune tissues throughout our bodies. Your tonsils are an example of that. When you get a sore throat and you get swollen glands, those are also lymph tissue. The immune system is heavily dependent upon the spleen. It manufactures a lot of the antibodies, but the whole system is controlled by in part, I should say, by the endocannabinoid system. And a robust immune system in these times is absolutely something that we're looking for.
Very much. And a lot of people, like right now, are looking to different products, not just pharmaceutical type based products, because let's face it, antibiotics are not antiviral. Is that
correct?
So
correct.
With
and that's
a virus running around and doing different things, we need things that are going to be on a more
holistic would be a good word.
Plant-based, antiviral.
Immune boosting would be another word. Those would be very good words to use. And basically, when you talk about that, you got to talk about different facets of how do you keep your immune system in tip-top shape.
Yes.
So one of the things that you want to do is get plenty of rest.
Perfect.
Get some exercise. Now, I know we're social distancing as you and I are keeping that
trying
distance.
to keep that distance.
Hand washing is paramount to preventing spread, wiping down surfaces and all that
So
stuff. But
let's
as
go
far
to
as our
hand
bodies
washing, because a
themselves,
lot of people are like, should be washing their hands. But, I mean, a typical hand washing regimen should be any kind of soap, or should we be doing
soap and water.
just soap and water?
A
So
good
does
20
it
to
make
30 minute good scrub.
30 seconds?
Yeah, the most important thing is some soap and water and
So
wash
do we
those
need to get
hands.
antibacterial soap, or will any
Well,
soap
obviously
do?
that would be helpful.
Okay.
Yeah, an antibacterial soap would be preferred.
Okay.
But really just making sure that you spend enough time
Perfect.
at the sink washing your hands. Most people do a quick towel
5
off and
seconds.
they're out. Yeah, I'm out of the contest.
Right. But you want to stay in it as long as possible.
You want to do at least 20 seconds.
Sing a
And
couple
probably
songs.
30 would be best, and just
Yes.
a good wash and rinse and use a clean towel. And
Common sense, right?
Common
but a lot of
sense stuff.
people at this time get scared. The fear takes over. We're trying to keep that fear a little bit on the bottom side too.
right, because fear in and of itself can be toxic, right?
It can create an undesirable immune response, is what I'm
Well,
learning.
if you're not
from-
sleeping because you're fearful, your
Right.
immune response is going to suffer.
Right.
So sleep is restorative, making sure you're getting enough sleep, getting some exercise, making sure that you're using the right foods in your body. Food is medicine, as you well know, and,
Yes.
and I would defer to you on some of the things that you're doing, which are amazing.
Yeah.
High antioxidant.
Yeah, I make this elderberry elixir, which has amazing immune boosting response. Plant-based materials, elderberries, ginger, cinnamon, cloves, which we're finding out cloves are one of the highest antioxidant products out there, plants out there. Allspice, star anise, they have wonderful benefits to them at an antiviral, antibacterial, anti-germ. I mean, it helps to get rid of all of these different things that we come into contact, and helps to boost our immune system and give us that nice, robust protection that we all look for.
A lot of people refer to those types of foods as superfoods.
Superfoods, yes.
Yeah, because of their antioxidant.
Yeah. And CBD is another superfood.
Yeah, I would say it has
have-
definitely some benefits in that it works with our immune systems to boost those.
Yeah.
And I think there's definitely benefit there. And it also helps with inflammation, and it helps with anxiety.
Which a lot of people have right now.
Yes,
with what's going
exactly.
on.
So if you don't qualify to be in the registry and are able to use some THC with CBD, which is really gives you that entourage effect to calm anxiety and stressful situations if you have another qualifying condition, because anxiety by itself is not. CBD is a very nice substitute for a lot of folks, and we have plenty of patients that do well with just.
So if somebody wanted to come in and get CBD, like how could they just walk in and pick it up, or do they need anything? Do they need like a prescription from their doctor, or?
Okay, so CBD is legal in Ohio as long as
Okay.
it has less than, or hemp as we would call it, less than 0.3% THC.
So these right here are just CBD.
Correct.
So anybody could come and pick these up from you guys.
Correct.
Okay, I have them
Yes,
right
and we have an area that we have set up where we can educate a little bit and kind of give them different cost comparisons,
here. Okay.
risk benefits, those types of things, and really make sure that we're applying the right type of CBD for what they're trying to treat.
Perfect.
Yeah, so what we've done is we've curated two different brands that we've gone to the trouble of making sure that they're good quality as well as clean.
Okay.
There was a recent article in the paper about some of the CBD products having trace metals and that type of thing, so we don't want that for
so
any of our
like going
patients.
to the gas station is not particularly the best products to buy CBD, or the grocery store. Like I teach natural plant-based medicines using essential oils. doTERRA is the brand that I partner with, and we do the same thing where we have tested purity factors where you don't want to get grocery grade oils, because those, we don't know where those came from. You want the
Sure.
tested pure oils. So you guys go through the same process. You get a company
Right.
that is tested for purity to make sure that you're getting what you actually are paying for.
Correct. And what we look at is what's called a certificate of analysis.
Okay.
And all our companies provide those, and it helps. It's another layer to make sure that what you're getting is clean
Good.
and safe. And then also price points. We've really made an effort to find products that are at a price point that are affordable. So that's very helpful to patients because this is a sustainability issue, right?
Yeah.
If it costs too much, you
You're
can't
not
do
gonna
it
be
for
able to
very
do it.
long. Yeah, they're going to have
Yeah.
to opt out. So
what are we talking, like, what we have here? We got a couple, I guess I'm not really
So broad
too keen
spectrum-
on with this. What is it?
okay,
So
so
this is an oil.
this is a broad spectrum oil. This is 500 milligrams in a 30 ml bottle. So each ml would have 17 milligrams of CBD in it.
Okay.
And for most people, somewhere between 1 and 2 milligrams per 10 pounds of body weight is a pretty reasonable dose, depending on what you're treating.
And you help
Could get
people
away
go
with
through that
less for
dosing.
certain things. Yeah, we talk about different applications.
Perfect.
But this would run around $50.
Okay.
Versus, now that's 500 milligrams, versus a 30 count in a pure isolate of CBD. It's in tablet form, which a lot of people like because they can take it kind of like a vitamin.
Okay.
You can split them so you can divide your doses.
So these are going to be a little bit more effective than the oil, or
Well,
vice versa?
they have different applications.
Okay.
So where we would use that is more so for pain and inflammation
Okay.
in patients that are already in the program. But we do have patients that use it exclusively without any cannabis and do very well with the pain component. The nice thing about that is it allows you to get your CBD addressed in one tablet form and then count on your registry for your other cannabis components to provide the other phytocannabinoids that you
And
would
use them
get.
in combination.
Use them in combination
So
because
how
you're
do
trying to bring
these-
that price of care down, and that's really
Right.
what we're trying to do.
So how do these help with the immune response then, I guess?
Well, CBD is known to boost immune response. And
so people that are putting these into their daily care, daily regimen of different plant materials that they're taking, like if they're doing fruits and vegetables and different things, if they do a couple CBD pills or some CBD into their regular regimen, that can help boost their immune response and make it a more robust immune response.
Correct.
Nice.
That's what we're seeing more and more of that as we learn more about these medicines.
That's awesome. So it's a really nice regimen to add into your daily care for somebody who's looking to boost their immune response during these times.
Yes.
Nice. I love it.
Yes. Yep. Also to help with the anxiety, CBD is anxiolytic, which means it cuts anxiety,
Okay.
stress, and helps with sleep for a lot of folks.
So a lot of people that need the sleep, this can help them get the sleep that they need to help boost their immune system as well.
Correct.
Nice.
And the Recover that we have in the Mountain Made brand is also combined with Magnolia, which is sort of like a melatonin type response, and it'll help with sleep.
Yeah, we have a magnolia oil with doTERRA as well, and that helps with reducing stress, and we put it over the heart to help calm that stressful feeling down.
Yeah.
So that's a wonderful magnolia. It has a lot of amazing different responses with it.
Yeah, we're
So-
seeing those things.
So social distancing, let's talk about that. I know we have something up here. I know you're really excited to share that about social distancing.
Yeah, it's
Let's
really
talk about that
interesting.
for a
So I'd like to
second.
just show a model of what that looks like and,
Okay, yeah, let's-
and how that plays out. So when you talk about social distancing, this was a really great article by Harry Stevens in the Washington Post. And
Now this was posted, it says March 14th.
Yes, this
So
was
this is
when
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, this was when everybody was in a panic, and it was really just to help people understand just how important social distancing is in helping to stem the spread of something as contagious as COVID-19.
Okay.
So just to give you a look at, this is what it would look like without any kind of distancing or contact precautions. You get this huge exponential spike that just takes off. But then when you come down here, this is sort of just how it spread. One bumps into another. It's by contact.
So pretty much the brown thing that we're looking at
Droplets.
are the sick people that are touching the
Brown,
people.
yeah, so brown's sick, And the top one is with no recovery. This simulation is interesting because as people bump in, there's a period that's delayed between contacts, and then there's a recovery period, is what you're seeing with the purple dots.
Okay. And then the blue dots represent uninfected, like people that don't have it, that are just normally walking around.
Correct.
Okay. So then as we get down
So
to
this is a town of 200 people, and this is just random spread, okay? It'll run out here, and then I'll be able to show you. It'll let me start it over, and it'll show you from the beginning what that looks like. But basically, it's showing you random how you get this peak, and that's the curve that everybody's talking about. The purple here are
slowing or lowering that curve. We're trying to.
Yeah. So this is a random. No social distancing, no precautions, in a community, 200 people. Watch what happens.
And all the blue people are uninfected, and then the brown ones are the ones that are infected.
And then the purple are recovering.
Okay.
So as you see, as the curve moves along and you get outside that 14-day period, you start to get recovered individuals.
And this is if we just self-quarantined and did nothing
No,
else.
this is nothing.
This is doing nothing.
This is just out in the community. This
okay.
is, you didn't do anything, and you see that you get this...
spike.
Yes.
So
now, this is only 200 people. Now, if you
right.
put thousands in, it looks a lot more dramatic. Yeah. Correct. Yeah. So then, you take a look at what China did, which is quarantine.
Okay.
And so you got your infecteds over here on this side. But quarantining works for a period of time, and then it doesn't. It starts to take off.
So these are people that have been quarantined but come out too soon.
Well, no, it's just the nature of quarantining.
Okay.
Over a period of a few days, at some point it gets out.
Okay.
And once it gets out into the populace, then you start to get sort of that big peak.
So you're still going to get the curve even with quarantine.
But not as steep.
Not as steep, okay.
It's somewhat effective, not completely effective.
Okay.
So as we come down, well, you can see that it's kind of playing itself out here.
Yeah, it's not as big, but it's still a little bit of a peak.
Right. Now this is what it looks like when you have 1 in 4 people just kind of...
This is social distancing.
Yes.
Okay.
This is a quarter of the population continues to move around, while the other 3/4 adopt a strategy of social distancing. So this is really what we're shooting for. Yeah.
Okay.
And you notice here that the curve is just...
It's kind of, it's
smooth
not
and easy.
too bad.
The reason for this being so important is not that you're going to stop people from getting it. People will still get it. It's that you're going to have the capacity in your hospitals to take care of the very sick patients.
Right.
What you don't want is this big, huge spike of really critically ill patients.
Because then you're going to overload the medical facilities, the medical care. By flattening the curve, you're keeping it to where they can relatively take care of everything.
Correct. And that's with a quarter of the people, and this is what happens when we just let 1 out of every 8 people move around.
Okay.
So with lockdown, like we're doing now,
this is keeping the curve very, very low.
Very flat. And that's really what Governor DeWine's shooting for in Ohio.
Okay.
And if you've seen any of the recent graphs they've been putting up, we're kind of getting this type of response, which is a good thing.
Nice.
Now, will we have a resurgence later? The average pandemic has roughly 3, where you will get some rise in cases. But again, if your system is more robust, meaning you've had time to repair, then you're going to be able to take care of those sick patients and potentially save their lives.
Nice.
And not put lives in danger, because there's so many sick patients that everybody's getting.
And that's the most important thing right now.
That's the most important
keeping that curve down, boosting and keeping our immune systems at a robust position to help take care of and offset and recover on a faster scale.
That's correct.
Nice.
That's what we're shooting for. Keep everybody safe and healthy. That's the bottom line.
Definitely.
For instance, in our office, we take our temperature every day. Make sure.
Good.
We've moved to telemedicine. We're doing a lot of telemedicine.
And telemedicine is huge. It's a really amazing opportunity that people can actually do that.
Keep people in place, get them the services they need, and limit exposure. So we've gotten it in our office where we're trying to have no more than one patient in at a time,
Okay.
when possible. Everybody else gets moved around. We wipe everything down pre and post.
Using sanitizer.
Sanitizers.
Hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
Making sure everything.
Yeah, and cleaners that actually have virucide in them.
Okay.
So,
It's keeping the viral content at next to nothing with the viral
that's the
side.
idea, yeah.
Yeah.
Just keep it next to nothing, and nobody comes in if they're sick. If
Okay.
you have a fever, you're not coming in.
Now, so if you have people coming in not working here, are you taking their temperature before they come in, or are you meeting with people?
We've talked about that. One of the biggest problems that we have is the temperature device that we use is an oral temperature, and it has a sheath on it. So what we're asking them to do is please take their temp before they come in. The other thing is there was a run on thermometers. So you can't get a forehead thermometer right now. They're very difficult to get. So while we've looked at that, what we've asked them to do is take a temp before they come in.
Good. So just kind of being proactive.
Absolutely. And it's really about self-monitoring at the end of the day anyway.
Yeah.
And just doing what we can to do our part.
I love it.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for meeting with me and doing this. I'm so glad that we were able to do this today. If somebody wanted to get a hold of you,
330-754-4850 or advocareclinic.com. That's ADVOCARECLINIC.com.
wonderful. I love it. So I will, at Essential Ways, we do carry your products. If somebody wants to get a hold of us, they can get a hold of me at Essential Ways or any of the partners there. If they want to come into AdvoCare Clinic, they can go online, go on Facebook, go wherever. We'll post all your information. That way they can come in. You do walk-ins. You can come in and get products, sit down. You have different specialists that can go over all the products with them.
Yes, we do.
Perfect.
Thank you for meeting with us
Yes,
today,
thank
Jade.
you.